start recording. Yeah. So, so I'll just continue with what I left like previously. So in the previous class, I had left you with the definition of velocity. Right. So what is velocity? Velocity v equal to displacement on time. So this was the thing that I left you with. So what is velocity? Velocity is basically displacement by time, and we know that displacement is basically the shortest distance between any 2 points. The shortest distance, funny that analogy is also quite incorrect. So you can't say displacement is distance. So shortest distance by So basically displacement is the shortest path length between 2 points. So let's say I have two places A and B. So always the shortest path length between A and B is a straight line connecting them, right? So there is nothing shorter than a straight line connecting A and B. So distance can be anything, a road that is connecting them, right? If it's a hilly terrain, so you'll not have a straight road connecting 2 points, right? There'll be like curves and turns and twists and turns. You have to climb up, you have to go down, you have to ascend, descend, whatnot, right? So displacement is basically the shortest path length between 2 points. So duita points are so between that the shortest distance between the 2 points, shortest path length, sorry, is known as the displacement. And this is a vector quantity because displacement can define both magnitude as well as direction, right? So I'm going like 40 meters due east. So that is displacement, right? So I'm just traveling 40 meters due east from A to B to reach like B from A, right? So I'm just traveling 40 meters due east from A, right, to reach point B. But I can't say that for distance because for distance I have to go like lot of twists and turns. Like I can't define as like straightforward direction that I'm going east because at this moment you're climbing up, so you're pointing towards the south, towards the north direction, right? At this point you're coming down, so you're pointing towards the south direction. So I can't assign a direction to speed like I'm to the distance, right? So basically distance is a scalar quantity. So scalar anything that has only the magnitude, right? So you have something that has only the magnitude. So by defining a certain concept, if you can only find the value of that concept, of value of that term, so that term is a scalar quantity, right? Like your mass. So if you stand in a weighing machine and you just try to weigh yourself, you get a reading of let's say 55 kilograms. So you'll not get a reading of 55 kilogram towards east, right? You'll just get a proper straightforward reading of 55 kilogram, and that means your mass is 55 kilogram, and that is it, that's the magnitude. You don't get a direction for that. So mass is basically a scalar quantity. So that's how you understand what is a scalar. And the other part, the other extremity of scalar is a vector quantity. Vector. So what is a vector quantity? So vector quantity is anything that has magnitude as well as direction. So you have a magnitude and a direction, right? So if I say I pushed the door with a force of 5 Newton to shut it, right? So to close the door, I just pushed it by a force of 5 Newton. So where did I apply the force? I applied the force on the door in the direction where it'll close, right? So now with just by giving a brief idea about what I did, so I just applied the force, right? So I can come to the straightforward conclusion that I applied the force in a direction in which the door will close itself. So there I can define a direction. I can assign a direction to the thing that I just stated, right? And also give a scalar value, that's a magnitude value to it as well. So that was the thing that we discussed in the previous class, so scalar and vector. And so accordingly I defined speed. So speed is basically the total distance traveled. So distance includes every twist and turn, so all that total combined divided by total time taken, so that is speed. And this velocity is displacement divided by time, right? So distance is a scalar quantity. So subsequently speed is also a scalar quantity. So since displacement is a vector quantity, subsequently velocity is also a vector quantity, right? So this was what I like taught you in like the last class. I also introduced the concept of acceleration to you. So what is acceleration? So acceleration A, so it is basically by how much faster or slower you're going compared to the previous time you recorded yourself. So if I recorded myself at a particular time, let's say I was traveling at 40 kilometers per hour, right? And after a time interval of uh, let's say half an hour, 0.5 hour, I record myself at the speed of 60 kilometers per hour, right? So basically, clearly it shows that after half an hour, I increased my velocity, I increased my speed, whatever it is. It is not specified whether it's velocity or if it's speed, right? So I just increased my velocity or speed to a value that is 60 kilometer per hour from my initial 40. So now acceleration is basically the change in velocity. So how much I decreased or how much I increased by the total time taken. So total time that is taken for the change, like change होना कति time लाग्यो. So what is the final velocity? Final velocity is the velocity. V2 is final velocity, okay? V2 is final velocity. Final velocity. Velocity. And V1 is initial velocity. Initial velocity. So what is the final velocity? Final velocity is 60 kilometers per hour minus initial velocity is 40 kilometer per hour divided by the time taken is 0.5 hours. So half an hour. So 60 minus 20 is 60 minus 40 is 20. 20 by 0.5. So 20 by half is 40. So I accelerated at a rate of 40, but I don't know the unit. So we need to discuss about the units now. So velocity equal to displacement by time. So unit of displacement is basically length or distance, whatever it is, whatever you can consider it. So whenever you consider displacement, it is just the length of something, right? Path length, whatever it is, right? So you can consider it as a path length or the shortest distance between anything. So displacement is calculated in meters, right? So I'm like 50 meters to due east from you. So from the point where you're standing, I'm 50 meters towards the east side, right? So that is in meters displacement. Time is in seconds. So velocity ka unit is meter per second. So you can define velocity by a unit of meter per second. So I'm traveling at a velocity of 6 meter per second. Means every second I travel a distance of 6 meter. So this is how you could read it. So if I'm traveling at a velocity of 20 meter per second, I'm every second I'm traveling 20 meters. Every second I'm traveling a distance or displacement of 20 meters, right? So that's velocity. Now we know acceleration is change in velocity v2 minus v1 divided by total time. So now v2 minus v1, you don't need to like subtract your minus or plus 7. You don't need to like change the units. So if velocity को unit क्यों meter per second minus velocity को unit meter per second divided by time. So you can't cancel this meter per second and meter per second. So it doesn't work like that. So when you talk about dimensions, so this is how you like represent in dimensional quantities. So in dimensional quantities, the minus thing can, if they have the same units, then the minus can be like totally discarded. So if they have the same units, the velocity and velocity, v2 and v1 are basically velocities only, right? So velocities, no matter what, they will have the same units. So we can consider their unit to be like single unit. We don't need to consider both the units. So let us consider the unit to be meter per second. So we know the velocity unit is meter per second, and divided by time unit is second. So this second and second will multiply themselves because denominator and denominator will multiply. So we get a unit of acceleration as meter per second square. So this is the unit of acceleration. So meter per second square. So this is very important. If you have your notebook open, just note it down. So very important, very important. Unit of acceleration is meter per second square. This is the SI unit. So you can have this unit in any form, but the most like commonly used form in your books and all those things, all those the reference materials will be in meter per second square, right? Meter per second to the power 2, meter per second square. Okay, so let's uh, take a case. Let's say I initially started at 0 meter per second, so which basically means I'm at a state of rest, right? I'm at a state of rest. So after like let's say time of around 40 seconds, I started traveling at I like travel. I'm like right now traveling after 40 seconds at the velocity of 120 meter per second. So find the acceleration. So what is acceleration? So we know acceleration is basically change in velocity v2 minus v1 divided by total time taken. So v2 is basically given to us as 120 and v1 is already given to us as 0 divided by total time taken is 40. So you cancel the 0 off. So your acceleration is 3 meter per second square. So this part carries as equal weightage as this one does. Okay. So just writing the right numeric value is not solving physics. Okay. So solving physics has a deeper aspect to it. So numeric value doesn't hold that importance in like solving anything, not only physics. Let's talk about maths as well. So in like I'm talking about the board's perspective, okay, like the board exams, CBSE, ICSE, whatever it is. So getting the numeric value, the number leonuta, it's not that difficult at all. Like you can get the number, no problem, right? But the difficult part is, the correct approach is not the difficult part. The correct approach is to assign certain quantity with the number, because the number alone will not give you a proper idea about what you have found out, right? So there should be a unit accompanied by a number. Wherever possible, you should always accompany the number with a unit. So this gives this meter per second square, the examiner, the person who checks the paper, will be enough like sound in knowing all these facts, okay, like meter per second square is acceleration. So by looking at this thing, they can know that you just found out acceleration, right? And they can just check the answer key and give the point to you, right? So this value, I in my personal opinion, I find this unit to be more valuable than just getting a numeric value. So just getting a numeric value of five, what is five? It can be anything. 5 meter, 5 seconds, right? 5 meter per second. It can be velocity, it can be acceleration, it can be length, it can be a number of things, it can be mass, it can be 5 kilograms, right? So you should be clear with your answers. You should clearly write what you have like found out through like entire process of solving it. So you have to be conclusive at the end. So this carries like great weightage. The unit lekno is a very good habit. You should develop this habit. It's a habit. So if you develop it, it's for your good, because like this, I'm telling you, this is one of the most important things in like solving mathematics, not mathematics, physics. You have to write the unit. Unit is very, very important, right? So acceleration is very simple. Acceleration is basically change in velocity by time. So if I say I'm moving at a uniform velocity, so in the previous class I had also taught you about a motion called uniform motion. So uniform motion was basically in the y direction I had displacement. So this is displacement, and in the x direction I had time, right? So a uniform motion is a motion that doesn't change over time. So you travel at a particular distance, or travel a particular distance in a particular time. Let's say you travel 4 meter every second. So even after 5 seconds, your velocity will be the same thing. So you can represent this by a straight line, which is diagonal, right? A diagonal straight line. So this is a uniform motion. So when a body is in uniform motion, when a body is in uniform motion, its velocity will remain exactly the same. So v2 will always be equal to v1, because the body is not accelerating nor it's deaccelerating, right? It's moving at the same velocity throughout. It started at 4 meter per second, it's going at 4 meter per second, and it'll keep on going at 4 meter per second. It'll never ever go to 6 meter per second. It'll not go to 3 meter per second. It'll always continue with the velocity where it started from. Kun velocity must start garega, same velocity will be the one that will be taken by the body throughout, right? So you can be like 100% sure, if a body is moving at a uniform motion, that the velocity of the body will constantly remain the same. Velocity will remain conserved. So if you want a physics term or science term for that, the velocity remains conserved. So velocity conserved bhaneko, you're moving with the same velocity throughout. You're not increasing, you're not decreasing your velocity. So basically when you put something like this in the equation of acceleration, so if v2 and v1 are equal, so let's say v2 is 4, v1 is also 4. So 4 minus 4 is basically 0 in the numerator divided by time. So whatever the time is, I don't care about the time now, because my numerator is already 0. So if my numerator is already 0, I can put a billion digit out here. So I can put like 1 with around 40 digits of zeros or whatever number you want. So I can put 1898, whatever number you want. But nothing will like ever beat the value 0. It will always be 0. So acceleration will always be 0 for a uniform motion. There is no exception for this. Whenever a body is in uniform motion बनेगा, a body continuing with its own velocity throughout. It's going on with the same velocity that it was like before. It's going on with the same velocity. Then the acceleration will always be 0. You should be very clear about this. Okay. And I had also like discussed about this kind of graph. So this is velocity and this is time, right? So here this is one type of velocity, then here. So this is first phase of motion, this is second phase of motion, and this is the third phase of motion. So here the body is increasing, right? I mean the velocity is increasing, right? The velocity is going from 0 and is reaching a certain value. Let's say this is 10 meter per second. So here the acceleration will be greater than 0 because it is accelerating, it is increasing its velocity. So from previous one, the later velocity will be more. Like at this point, let's say velocity is 2. At this point, velocity will be 4, right? So v2 is greater than v1. So if I put in this formula, acceleration equal to v2 minus v1 divided by time, let's say it is 1 second difference. So the acceleration is 2. So the acceleration will be greater than 0. So in this kind of upward graph, upward velocity time graph, acceleration will be 0, which basically means the body is accelerating. The previous velocity one, the body is moving at a velocity that is greater than the previous velocity. अलिकति पछाडिको velocity भन्दा बेसीमा जाँदैछ. So now, as it attains the velocity of 10 meter per second, we find that the body is not accelerating. It is moving at a straight line. It is moving at the same velocity for like, let's say this is 10 seconds, right? It is moving at a velocity of 10 meter per second for like 10 seconds, which means its acceleration is 0 at this phase, right? At this phase, the acceleration is 0. So at this phase, I already stated acceleration is greater than 0. Here acceleration is 0. Now here what happens? Now from here onwards, the velocity is decreasing. So let's say here we have a 10 meter per second value. So this is v1. Now let's say at this point we have a velocity of 5 meter per second because it is decreasing, right? Let's say this is v2, and let's say this time taken is 5 seconds. So what will be the acceleration? So acceleration of this body will be equal to v2 minus v1 divided by total time. So what is v2? v2 is 5, v1 is 10 divided by time is 5 seconds. So 5 minus 10 is negative of 5, right? You are subtracting a bigger number from a smaller number. So you'll get negative of 5 divided by 5. You cancel this off. You get minus 1 meter per second square. So this is the unit of acceleration. So now we find the acceleration is less than 0 at this phase. So third phase of motion मा चाहिँ, so in this graph, so first phase my acceleration is greater than 0, second phase my acceleration is exactly 0, and in the third case acceleration is less than 0. So this is known as deceleration or retardation. Deceleration, or let's say it's called retardation. RETARDATION, retardation. Retardation भनेको the body is retarding like over a time. Retarding भनेको उसको velocity घट्दै जाँदैछ. Its velocity is decreasing over time. So that is retardation, right? So this is known as acceleration, right? Acceleration, when acceleration greater than 0, positive acceleration छ भने acceleration. When acceleration is 0, it is 0 acceleration. So there is no acceleration of the body at this phase. And this part where the velocity is decreasing constantly, the acceleration is termed retardation. RETARDATION, retardation, right? So you should be clear with this as well. So what is acceleration? What is retardation? Right? And when the acceleration remains constant, like I mean, when the acceleration remains 0, not constant. So in uniform motion, the acceleration remains 0. So the value of acceleration will remain 0 in uniform motion. So these things need to be clear. It's very simple. You just remember this graph. So I'll draw it neatly once more. You can take a screenshot if you guys want. So I have a velocity, I have a time constraint axis, then we have a positive acceleration because it's increasing its velocity, At this point, it is not increasing, not decreasing, it's remaining constant. So acceleration is 0. At this point, the velocity is decreasing, so acceleration is less than 0. Acceleration is equal to 0. Acceleration is greater than 0. So this is known as retardation. Retardation. Yeah. Retardation, or you can say deacceleration. So it's acceleration ka ulta deacceleration. So it is like velocity is decreasing over time, right? Just like if you're about to stop a car, if you're driving at 40 kilometer per hour, you're about to reach your destination, right? So what do? So if you're about to reach your destination, you start slowing your car down. You you shift the gear to a higher gear, let's say 1 or 2. Then after that, you just like start applying the brake slowly, right? The velocity will start decreasing from 40 to 38, 35, 34, and 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Then if you want to like completely stop it now, you press the brake harder, so it'll like stop there. So that moment when the velocity started decreasing from 40 kilometers per hour and reached a point of 0 kilometers per hour, so that phase is known as the phase of retardation. So there the velocity is decreasing constantly. So next velocity is always less than the previous one, right? So 40 kilometer ke baad kati aaya? We got 38 kilometer, right? Once we started applying the brake, or just when we shifted the gear to a higher one. Let's say we shifted it to like 2 from 4. So the velocity is decreasing now. 40 banda kamti bhai. We got like 38 now, 36. Then it goes on. So after you hit the brake harder, it'll keep on decreasing, right? So at the point, like ultimately it reaches 0. So retardation banego, you are like slowing down something, and that slowing down to represent the rate of slowing down of something, we represent acceleration in negative term, like when it is less than 0, and that term is known as retardation. Okay, so it's not that difficult, it's very simple. So what are the things we studied today? And also one more thing you should know, acceleration ko formula we have v2 minus v1 divided by t. The best way to remember this is, this v2 is known as the final velocity, and this one is known as initial velocity. So v1 is the one that is before something. So if my velocity is 40 kilometer per hour now, if it was 20 kilometer per hour like 1 hour ago, then v1 is 20 kilometer per hour. I had this 1 hour before, and v2 is the 40 kilometer hour. That is the velocity that I have right now. Okay, so v2 is the final velocity, v1 is the initial velocity, right? This is the thing you need to know. Then what did we do today? Let's revise a little bit. So we started with velocity. Velocity का definition क्या? Velocity is displacement by time, and velocity is a vector quantity because of displacement in the numerator. And then we have speed. Speed is distance by time. So distance is a scalar quantity because we just have the magnitude of that value. We don't have a direction associated with speed. We just have a direction associated with displacement. So speed is a scalar quantity. So with that we explained acceleration. Acceleration banego we is a term which is used to like define the rate of increase or decrease of velocity. So by acceleration you can define whether the velocity of a body increased or velocity of a body decreased, right? So if it decreased, it's deacceleration or retardation. If it's increased, it's this one, acceleration. A is greater than 0. So I think this is it for today. So tomorrow we'll continue with the equations of motion. So so what so one interesting thing about this equations of motion and like motion in general is, motion cannot be defined unless we define the state of rest. Okay, we have to define a state of rest to define the state of motion, right? So so for like the half of this chapter, this third chapter in class 11 book is about state of rest, right? How do we define a body in the state of rest? How can I define a notebook that I have just placed in my table? So how can I say that this notebook is in the state of rest, right? How can I define that this spectacle that I have here now, right now? So I've kept it here. So how can I define the motion of the body? So how can I define the motion of the body that I went like SRE login, then I kept it here, right? So how can I define it, and how can I ultimately come to a conclusion about the state of rest that it is at, like at this moment? So to understand the state of rest is one of the most important aspect of understanding the state of motion. So state of motion, like actually it's like also called dynamics, right? And So dynamics भनेको when we study anything in the state of motion, so state of rest like that we call it state of rest only. So when they are combined we get kinematics. Kinematics पनि भन्दैन actually, kinetics पनि भन्छ. So there's a way to like define all those things together, like, but now in this chapter we'll just focus on the dynamics of a body. So what happens when a body moves, right? What all happens to its velocity, what happens to its initial velocity, what happens to its final velocity, what happens to the acceleration of the body, right? What happens to the distance traveled by the body or the displacement that the body covers. So the tomorrow's topic will be mainly focused on the three equations of motion. So that is very important thing. That'll not leave you till you complete your like bachelor's. If you like feel like going towards engineering or something, they'll stay with you. They'll stay with you till you complete your bachelor's. If you even don't want to do your bachelor's in engineering or like applied sciences, something like that. So, but still, it'll remain with you. It's very important. It's very interesting as well. So I think I'll end my class today.